How would you address it?
Well,
have you thought about it?
Yeah, I have. I think about it all the time, every day, and it pains me because, you know, it is the axiom that the victors write the history. In the case of the American Civil War, that is not what happened. It's the exact opposite. And we have lived until, I would suggest, my series and other things with Birth of a Nation and Gone with the Wind as a generally accepted version of what happened in the Civil War, which was that in both films makes the Ku Klux Klan, the first domestic terrorist organization, the heroes. It's upside down, backwards history. And it was time to do it. At the end of the Civil War series, 27 years old now.
Yes. That's what's amazing to me.
There's a professor, Barbara Fields. I feel like I have. There's a professor, Barbara Fields from Columbia University, and she said the Civil War is still going on. It's not only still going on, it can still be lost. Regrettably, can still.
We haven't resolved that. We're talking about resolved wars. We haven't
resolved this. The question of race, you know. So the monuments is a big deal, and we have to understand it. First thing is just check the date of when that monument went up. If it's the 1880s and 90s, take it down. It's all about the reimposition of white supremacy. When we say the South and my heritage, let's remember that in 1861, there are 9 million people in the South. 4 million of them are slaves. They are not interested, nor are their descendants, in monuments to the Confederacy, a disloyal thing. Let's remember, the Confederacy is responsible for more loyal American deaths than Hitler or Tojo. So we're all of a sudden celebrating people who our government considered traitors. We never recognized the Confederate States of America. The official name of the United States government for what we call the Civil War was the War of Rebellion. Right. We were suppressing a rebellion. So there's lots of monuments put up then, and at that point, the Dixie flag, which was not the flag of the Confederacy, but one battle flag of Northern Virginia, went into Mississippi. Then it went into all the other flags in the South in 1954.
Yes.
Now, what happened in 1954, Chuck, that would have caused them to have a reactive thing to suggest
a Supreme Court decision?
A Supreme Court decision that triggered the white supremacists. So this is not talking about taking away our heritage. What we need to do as Americans is stop the dialectic about it and realize we can expand. Charleston understands this. This was this lily white city that was tourism for the antebellum stuff. They've included an African-American narrative, and it's thriving as ever before. You pull back the camera and say, we're not cutting out your history. We just want to include other histories. We don't want to portray blacks as passive bystanders to the Civil War, but active, dedicated, self-sacrificing soldiers in another war of self-liberation. That's a good story. And you could just add it on. Just as in the Vietnam War, we say, why does it just have to be Americans arguing with each other about what really happened? Let's ask a North Vietnamese soldier. Let's ask a North Vietnamese civilian. Let's hear from a Viet Cong guerrilla. Let's hear from a South Vietnamese, our erstwhile allies.
But then you humanize everybody.
Well, then all of a sudden...
What happens when you humanize
Well, what happens is I hope that somewhere along the line, I don't think it's ever going to happen, you skip to the middle of episode 10 and you just get to the reconciliation part right away.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what you want to have happen. That's what you want. You study wars so that maybe against the huge rush of human nature, that we would actually stop and say, we're not going to do this. Let's figure out a way that we can solve it short of the firing of guns.